GM, everyone. Mini drafts left to go in Best Ball Mania. $2 million up top. We are going to do our absolute best to try not psy up ourselves into any bad plays. Let's have a nice afternoon.
It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer.
All right, GM, everyone. How are we doing? I hope that you guys all enjoyed the special Swolecast episode earlier. Just decided for a quick stream this afternoon. The day many such cases got away from me. Recorded a very cool episode of the Takecast with Cody Alexander from Match Quarters earlier. Have a couple things that I've just been pondering strategy-wise in these drafts, and I thought, we had a nice little recording session with Neil Orfield yesterday. Easy joined the show, and I thought, you know what, I could call it quitting time. I could go and mow my lawn. I wasn't really feeling like mowing the lawn, honestly, and I can wait for the sun to go down a little bit more for that. So we've got the sidekick pulled up. I've got the new updated version of the Draft Caddy here. We are drafting out of the 1.4. Wow, look who we caught. Look who we caught here. Daily Rojo. You know what? Hold on. Let me message Karain. Let me see if Karain is around. If he's at his computer, I'll see if Karain wants to join the show. He probably is busy. How funny would that be if Karain hopped on? We did. We caught a wild GM Davis. What's an 8.3 inch percent blanket you currently have that surprises even you? It's a good question. That is a good question. We'll go look at exposures after I make this pick. We'll go look at the exposures. Soup's another fan of the new Swolecast format. All right, so we are going to take Bijan. Let's see if we can answer the surprising 8.8% blanket question with the overlay here. I don't know who's surprising of this list. Only 7.4% of Mike Evans, who I think worthy. I like more than him. Is there anyone who's really surprising in this list? 5% of Flowers. I would have guessed way lower on Flowers. Davis takes CMC and flip the board. You done that much yet? So I'll tell you why I'm not flipping the board with Christian McCaffrey, because I have already drafted so much more. I have 15% of Christian McCaffrey right now. I don't want to end up in a situation, Joey, where a third of my teams require Christian McCaffrey to stay healthy. I want to be overweight on Christian McCaffrey. I don't want my entire season to rest on Christian McCaffrey's ankle, or I guess his Achilles and his knee. It could be any combination of those things, but I don't want my season, much like Rashee Rice's knee, going to zero. I don't want my entire season to go to zero. Which is not to say that I think I have him ranked in the right place. But I don't want to overdo that, if that makes sense. Need to make sure I've got my timestamps cooking here. What do you guys have going on this afternoon? We're getting to an updated Dobbins exposure check. We could do that real quick here. Completed 227 drafts completed. We are up to 7.9% of J.K. Dobbins. That again, that does feel about right to me. based on, because I was not really drafting him a ton before, and I am drafting him pretty aggressively right now. I don't, for whatever reason, starting drafts with Bijan just doesn't feel that sexy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Bijan. Bijan, he's a good pick. Not feeling crazy good about Bijan. Wow, I think we might have a return of Mr. Easy to the show. All right, we're up. Yeah, let's just take Lad. I'm lighter on Lad than I am on Rushy Rice. Bijan, Lad, a perfectly cromulent start. We're feeling good. Why is Rushy Rice getting all the love from the slaps and not Worthy? I mean, I guess the simple answer is Rushy Rice was just a lot better than Xavier Worthy. Worthy's best game of the season was in the Super Bowl when their season was over, I suppose. What is the evolution of CMC's ADP over the years? He basically has always been the 101. Basically, if you look at Christian McCaffrey's historical ADP, he just has always been the 1.1. Yeah, Worthy was good without Rice. Rice was great without Worthy. Shout out to the video from this weekend. Marvin Harrison Jr. has a secret. I'm happy to take Marvin Harrison Jr. there. So we have Bijan Robinson, Lad McConkey, Marvin Harrison. That's actually a fire start. Yes, as Mr. FF Doom notes, because Rashee Rice was on pace to win us $1 million before old Patty Mahomes cost us a lot of money with this helmet. Yes, muscle enthusiast, Sam Sulik, Marvin Harrison Jr., Chris Bumstead. Correct. Mini muscle enthusiast. I don't know, man. I pretty clearly see the bear case for Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, he was overrated, ran a bunch of easy routes at Ohio State, low levels of competition. A lot of guys have went to Ohio State and been awesome. But on the other hand, I also see I think to me, it's just so clear to see the DeAndre Hopkins, Devonta Smith, CeeDee Lamb. I mean, you guys want to know something funny? People were saying the same thing about CeeDee Lamb for like multiple years of his career. Oh, CeeDee Lamb, fake alpha. CeeDee Lamb, 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. Oh, only 1,400 yards and 9 touchdowns. Then bam, 1,800 yards, 40 tuds. Listen to a pod with Rich Rebar. They had some real interesting negative stats on Fields and Wilson with Vegas lines. Okay, so I mean, obviously, I love my boy Rich Rebar. No disagreements with him, what he'd normally say, but I would say that is sort of seeing the forest for the trees, because all that you have to solve for there is, can Garrett Wilson have a 30% target share? The answer is absolutely yes. The other on top of that is, can Justin Fields throw for 3,800 yards? And the answer is yes. There's a lot of reasons why Fields' passing line would be so low from a Las Vegas perspective. Many such cases why it would be so low, and it's just not. Honestly, it's just not that compelling to me. DJ Moore had a wide receiver 7 finish, and I think Fields threw for 3,200 yards that season. I want to say, how many yards did Fields throw for? No, Fields threw for 2,200 yards that season. Sure, yeah, let's take Amari Hampton. I'd probably slightly prefer a wide receiver there, but it's whatever. No, he didn't even. I like Fields. I like Wilson as well. This is not true that Lamb couldn't beat out Cedric Wilson as a rookie, but it is indicative of the point that I was trying to make, which is that CeeDee Lamb certainly was far from playing his best football as a rookie. And it won't be Marvin Harrison Jr.'s best football either, to me. I think we will probably see. I probably not this year. I would say Marvin Harrison Jr. probably is like, I think this year, like 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns feels fair. But I think next year we could certainly see Marvin Harrison Jr. go super nuke. I am not fading. DJ Moore. No, I think DJ Moore is a good pick. Wow. ADP value with Cook. ADP of 42.4. Sure. Yeah. That will be a rare combination of players. Hampton and James Cook together will be quite rare. I'd say one of the main reasons why Dobbins won't outscore RJ Harvey is that he's just so much more likely to get injured. I want to say Lamb. Do you guys remember? I want to say CeeDee Lamb was like a 6th round pick in year 2. Here, I can look it up. 2021 underdog ADP. CeeDee Lamb. No, he was a 2nd round pick, so I lied. He was pretty high. I don't think Harvey will be the primary pass catcher, but he will catch the ball a good bit. He will. The thing is that he will get the ball on early downs. He'll catch passes like Jaleel did. Why is Cook going in the same range as last year when he was a complete smash? Because it was all touchdowns. Because James Cook scored 17 touchdowns on fewer than 50% of the snaps for the Buffalo Bills. So it's tough to make a living that way. Very hard to make a living in fantasy football if your entire fantasy football value is based on touchdowns. What snap percentage do we think Hunter plays on offense? My guess is that the way the Jacksonville Jaguars view Travis Hunter is as an offensive player. I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars will view Travis Hunter as a starting player on offense, a package player on defense. Now, is that the right way to use Travis Hunter? I don't know. It's an interesting question. I actually just recorded a podcast with Cody Alexander from Match Quarters, and he's a defensive guy, former defensive coordinator. He coached under Art Briles at Baylor, and he said that the ideal way he would use Travis Hunter would be as a full-time defensive player with like a really limited package on offense, because it's much easier to learn offense than it is to learn defense. Defense is kind of a real thinking man's game. Wow. Someone must be drafting terribly in this draft, because I'm building an absolute shipper here. But Hunter, there's so much more nuance in the defensive game than there is on offense right now. Like, basically, if Hunter was a full-time corner, he could just walk to the huddle on any 3rd down, and Trevor Lawrence could tell him exactly what to do. Trevor Lawrence would say, all right, you're going to go run a post. You're going to go run an out. You're going to go run a corner. You're going to run a go. He'd be a little bit limited on option routes. They couldn't really put him in motion. They couldn't hand him the ball or anything like that, which maybe you would say is limiting to some degree. Now, I don't think that is how Jacksonville is going to use Travis Hunter. I think we are likely to see him as like probably their 5th defensive back, not even their 4th. I think we probably see Travis Hunter plays the 5th defensive back, rotational stuff. So I guess my guess on June 17th, 2025 is that well, Easy's about to join the stream, and we are about to take Matthew Golden. So that is a shipper. Buddy, you joined the stream at the right time, because I think we're
beautiful.
I I think we're drafting the winner right here.
Who's running back?
We have Bijan, Hampton. We got a 10-spot ADP fall on James Cook, Ladd, Marvin Harrison, 10-spot ADP fall on Jordan Addison, and then Matthew Golden.
Sick.
Yeah, we're cooking. Pat Kerrane in this draft, but he didn't message me back, which means he is probably
Oh, dude, this is like friends and family. We got Clay in here. Is Pat streaming or something?
We got Clay. We got This Is Fine, who's a mod in my Discord. Yeah, we're friends and family. I don't think Kerrane is streaming because I just messaged him and he didn't message me back. So I think he probably is like on the beach watching his daughter play in the sand right now.
Nice.
Shout out to him. But we are cooking.
What's our round 2, round 3?
We did Bijan at 4, Ladd, Marv, Hampton, Cook, Addison.
But I only get
ties the room together.
Soups is saying that Davis is losing a lot of EV, but I don't get, like, if we're doing draft capital adjusted contributions, I think my share of this team is going to be pretty low.
Look, man, I'm happy to share. I'm happy to share a shipper. All we need is a shipper. That's really all we want, man.
You get all the NIL. I'll just take the cash.
I get all the NIL. That's really all I care about at the end of the day is the future endorsement dollars. Imagine negotiating my future contract with Underdog as a Best Ball Mania champion. We're now we can't do what we did yesterday.
Come on, man.
We did not land the plane with the quarterbacks yesterday. So let's not do that. What did we try and do? We tried to push Jordan Love around the turn to get in.
All right, let's see.
Yeah. We just take
Kyler gone,
right?
Hawk or Kyler.
Clear ADP value is Hawk. Yeah. I think we
a lot of no QBs behind us. I would go Kyler, but that's just me.
Bang. Done. Kyler Murray, welcome to the team. We said we weren't going to mess up quarterback, and we didn't.
I assume McBride guys behind us, so it'll like tilt equity there.
This Kittle and McBride guy is behind us, so and Hawkinson did go immediately after, so running bad there. I don't think Kerrane did not have an Underdog sponsorship when he won. Herzig didn't have an Underdog sponsorship when he won. Liam, no sponsor.
Let's give the people a reason to be upset and conspiratorial. All right, that's our goal for this successful season.
100%. Do you want to do Kelsey? Do you want to take? This is kind of like the last of a tier at wide receiver.
Kelsey or even Trey Harris.
I think Trey Harris is better. Yeah.
You could set it because like now we're doing a Chargers thing. I like that.
Harris is to me. Harris is the Bateman line. Don't you think? I think Trey Harris is the Bateman line this year.
No, I agree. I think it's a significant fall down. Like between guys, I think it's easily contributors to like now then like Kyle Williams. Like maybe I'm too Jalen Polk pilled, not in the good way, but it's like you're staring right in the face of like legit zeros in like the 130s at receiver. Trey Harris could be a 0 too, honestly. Let's be real, but
people do forget that that New England Patriots Kyle Williams was like a non-prospect for like, you know what I'm saying?
The last month of the process, which whatever. Chad saying he thought the line was Betch. I thought the line used to be Betch too, but as Betch and everyone around him dies, the line moves up and up and up, and it becomes like as the guys in the 130s don't start to separate, like the squeeze on like let me get 5 receivers in the top 100 becomes more and more important.
I just want it on the record. I'm not waving the white flag on Besh. What's the Ryan Russillo bit? I actually came away more impressed with the first team snaps that Jack Besh didn't play, because the whole theory with Besh the whole theory with him is that he's just like a good duplicative skill set with Jacoby Myers. And there are lots of ways for that to get there in a Chip Kelly, Geno Smith offense.
Yeah, I like that bet at 170 more than I do at 125.
He's a pads on guy.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a pad.
Good blocker, good blocking receiver isn't going to play nice in June.
Damn, Andrews got snapped off there. Herbert, Jonnu, Christian Kirk, Scadaboo.
I would like playing scared. I would go Justin Herbert here because like there's so many other good players like that I'm not fussed about, and Herbert is pretty important to this team.
We do have 3 Chargers. I didn't check the bye weeks. Okay, we're good. We're good on the bye weeks. The Jonnu has been an absolute
he's a stone
free faller. People just heard the name Arthur Smith invoked. Yeah, and they were like, all right, we are so out. Yeah, the PTSD is hitting early. We're doing the exact opposite, which is fine. I think a third wide receiver on a team with Geno and Genti is totally fine, honestly.
I like that.
All right, we can do Loveland and
I like Njoku quite a lot in this range. Like there's no or Kraft, dude. Njoku or Kraft. I would go. Njoku.
We're gonna go Njoku because we don't care about setting him up with Love.
Yeah, we're good on that.
If you care about quarterback at all, you do Kraft, but I'm willing to stand on business that David Njoku is the guy you want in this range.
I was just looking at this. David Njoku was like 1.2 points per game behind McBride and Bowers last year.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, and no one wants
to grow, but 1.5.
No one wants to admit it, but he has outs to competent quarterback play. No one on this earth wants to admit that there's a chance that like Dylan Gabriel strings together some games, Shadur plays all right, Flacco plays 8 games. Like only story I can't tell myself is Pickett stringing together competent games. But anyone else, truly, I think I would hear a story.
Yeah,
that's all.
Dude, absolutely. And Jerry Jeudy, while like I think there's structural reasons to like plug your nose and take him in round 6.
Yeah, sure.
Would it surprise anyone if he like Njoku is just like the top target earner on that team, or like Jeudy fades back into like fantasy irrelevance relative? It's not. I wouldn't bet on it, but it wouldn't surprise me in the least. I feel like I made this like I've only had a microphone in front of my face twice, and like all I've talked about is how Njoku is going to catch 100 passes.
I mean, but when is buying the top on Jerry Jeudy ever failed anyone? You know, it's never failed. It's never failed before. There's a report going around today. I didn't check to see if it was Mary Kay Cabot or not. And if it was, it's dust that Deontay Johnson is the starting slot wide receiver. All right, so we almost got Kraft. I think this is a
who's tight end? It's probably
or
like
a Dobbins
or something.
Yeah, it's.
Do we have a need for an adult? Not really. What about Jaden Blue?
Yeah, say less. Happy to take Jaden Blue when I don't need an adult, and Miles Sanders when I do need an adult.
Yeah.
We could have,
if we didn't do Herbert, if we didn't do Trey Harris and Herbert, like we would have probably wanted to do the Kraft Love thing. But I think this team makes a lot of sense as it is right now.
Dylan Gabriel is going to be awesome in the preseason. Never been more sure of something that he is going to dice it up in the preseason. Dude, that's like what he's all about.
You know enough college ball that like it's so easy where he's been at Oklahoma with Lincoln Riley and then Oregon.
UCF, Oklahoma, Oregon.
To be the 5'10" accurate pocket passer, and you just like he's they talk about like it's like a 1-read quarterback, 2-read quarterback. Like Dylan Gabriel's a 0-read quarterback. Like he knows where the ball's going before it's snapped. Like they've schemed him up at 3 different schools now.
I mean, I think we got to snap Besh off here, right? Assuming Glue Eater doesn't take him. 148, maybe not. I don't know.
I have Besh below here now.
We could do Tillman.
Ferguson, Kane. Oh, Ferguson just went. Yeah.
Ferguson just went.
You want to do QJ? No, it's a little overstacky.
I do not want to do that.
All right, we can do Besh. I'm not super into it.
I'm gonna take Tank. I'm gonna keep adding on. My literal, I was like, all right, today on stream, I'm gonna do more drafts where I don't take Tank, so that I can get my exposures down. Because right now he's my most drafted player.
Tank
right now. I mean, it's only 21.2% or whatever, but he is my most drafted player right now. So you're so right about Dylan Gabriel. But the thing is Gabriel is going to be good in the preseason because of that. He's going to complete some passes.
I guess I should respect Stefanski, but it's a different beast. Like in the Pac-12 / Big Ten.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah. The Marcus Mariota, a great cautionary tale. Mariota was a bit too small. Bit too weak. I mean,
he was a bit too small. Entered Dylan Gabriel, but
yeah,
I digress.
You were panicked.
Dude, I'm a Bigsby bull. I feel like this team we're like pretty sick at running back. So like I'm almost tempted to the thing that I disagree with people on a lot this year. I'm doing a lot of like at least 6, if not sometimes 7 running backs.
And you're taking Taj Brooks and stuff right now. Where are getting scared.
For sure.
Off.
Taj Brooks, Giddens, and like this roster doesn't really have room for them. I feel like we might be good and done here. But like we could be done at quarterback, which I'm not usually done at quarterback.
No, we're still gonna take 6, man. You want running backs in the flex as much as possible in half-point PPR.
You also, I don't want to be too like Puka Kyron pilled from 2 years ago, but it's like that's the real Konami code is like you stumble somehow into the one guy that matters, and it's just
Tillman, Noel. Trying to think if there's any. We could take Michael Wilson.
Noel's a bring back for our Chargers bet.
Yes. Say less. Was just arguing with the ship chasing chat this morning on Jalen Noel. There were.
I'm not like super into Noel, but I think by like Christian Kirk is gonna get Christian Kirk by the end of the year. So like if you're making, like if you want a galaxy brain, like it's not that galaxy brain to say like if I'm drafting Jalen Noel only as a bring back to my Chargers bet, like I think hopefully by week 17 he's found his way onto the field.
I mean, dude, he's gonna be on the field by like week 4.5. Christian Kirk hasn't mattered during this used to be you used to do it since the Obama administration, but it doesn't hit the same these days. I mean, we have been drafting Christian Kirk since the Obama administration. It feels like
Christian Kirk is probably like, how old do you think Christian Kirk is? Like my guess is like only like 28.
I was gonna say 28. It's got to.
He is 28.
Yeah. Okay. Now, do we want to take like a fake value tight end here?
Yeah.
It'd be like Ertz or Mason Taylor, or do we take running back?
I'll go Ertz or Gesicki if Gesicki is here.
He just went, I think.
Yeah, Ertz is fine.
Yeah, Ertz is fine. It probably puts us into taking 3 because I'm pretty sure this is the year Ertz's body's going to give up on him.
Yeah.
Ertz very good on DraftKings, by the way, though. And FFPC. We just started setting up our first main event stuff for ship chasing today, and I was like, damn, this is like the nuts format for Zack Ertz. I think like historically, like I talk about how people get psyoped into thinking tight ends are better, like the tight end floor is better than it is, and you're overdrafting, like you're drafting a third tight end
that's going to score 5.7. Meanwhile, you probably have like 4.3 on your team already. Like, what's the difference?
Right.
I think this year, I don't know if it's like schematic changes with like increase in run rate in the NFL and like tight ends are on the field more and like you kind of need, and maybe rotations work out in a way that like receivers there's fewer impact receivers than there were 3 years ago, let's say. There's a lot of tight ends I like this year. Like,
that's always something you tell yourself before the start of the year.
You think?
Yes, I've been doing.
I don't love this range. The range right above this one, I really like.
That is total psyop, man. You're gonna. I
want to show up at FFPC taking like Kraft and Njoku, Strange.
FFPC, it's different because you can get by on catches. Like 6 for 43 in underdog scoring is absolutely useless. All right, AD Mitchell is a bring back for us here.
I don't hate AD Mitchell. Gives us like the Dan Jones. Gives us the Dan Jones thing.
Yeah, I mean, AD Mitchell is a guy. Look, I would be willing at the end of this to, like, I'd be willing to have 16% AD Mitchell. I think in Best Ball Mania, him and Wicks, and I know you're not going to agree with me on Wicks, but it is like those are the profile of guys that are actually really good late round picks because all these guys are probably zeros. But AD Mitchell, if he hits, is a real what do you win when you win? Like AD Mitchell could score 13.2 points per game. He only
needs like the if then for AD is like 1.5 things, I think, where it's like any of the 3 receivers ahead of him gets hurt or Alec Pierce like falls out of a job.
And he just
QB play. Yeah.
He just gets serious. Do you want to take Dimes?
I would.
Yeah. All that has to happen for AD Mitchell is that he gets serious. That's it. Because if he's serious, he is, and I mean, same thing is true for Wicks. Although
all the separation stuff, like there's a lot of all the fancy stuff, like
all the fancy stuff.
AD Mitchell being like an NFL receiver last year, which is pretty good for his profile, right?
He did lose his team a game against Denver, and then laughed about it. So
it's not great.
in terms of being serious, I wouldn't say that's very serious, but you want to know that is a very just an interesting thing from a coaching perspective is like how much do you hold that against guys when you don't have anyone else who can get open? It's like, oh man, Michael Pittman Jr. and Alec Pierce just like are stick-emmed to the jersey of their opposing cornerback. Meanwhile, AD Mitchell is like Jacob described it the best way, which is AD Mitchell. They have to only put him on the field when he's going to get the ball, because if not, he's just going to like be distracted by a blade of grass. He's just going to be like, oh, what's going on over here? What's going on?
Not exactly what you would love to hear.
Not exactly what you want to hear, but I'm comfortable taking those guys instead of taking Tyler Lockett's, Jalen Tolbert's, Calvin Austin's, because there is no chance.
The mystery boxes, I think. Yeah, I think you can get 705 out of AD Mitchell with one injury ahead of him.
100,
which is super valuable here.
As long as he finds that blade of grass in the end zone.
Yeah.
Right. That's all.
Now, would you go 3 tight end here or receiver? Because I feel like we can swing either way.
Our running backs are definitely good enough, and we all have
we're good at running back.
No consideration there.
Like we could do like a Conklin, or we could take the Donald Parham Jr.
Oh,
not actually Parham.
Permission to slap?
Like, can we just look at receiver, make sure we're not forgetting anyone that could be good?
Sidekick has Roman Wilson is the best one.
We can. Why don't you slap it up? I mean, what are you gonna do?
God, dude. Okay, people think that I've learned my lesson. No chance have I learned my lesson if I am taking Arondé Gadsden in fantasy football drafts in 2025. I told this story the other day that the BBM won, the year Herzig won. I drafted a bunch of this guy named Dylan Cantrell, who was like a Chargers.
He's not a grunge front man.
Not a grunt. That's Chris Cantrell, right?
Yeah.
He was a Chargers practice squad wide receiver who played at I just didn't get best ball. I just did not understand best ball. And I took like 20% of this guy who was like cut by preseason week 2, like back when
Jerry Cantrell, Allison Chains.
Jerry Cantrell. There we go. Chris
Cornell.
Chris Cornell. There we go.
Yeah, taking Chris Cornell. Rest in peace. Aranda Gadsden, Syracuse scam. All of his stats are scam. Like that offense is just total scam.
Harbaugh has been talking about him, like, yeah, which is like but Harbaugh does that with everyone. All right, was this team good or not? So. Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert,
until I plugged in, honestly.
Daniel Jones, Cook, Bijan Robinson, Amarian Hampton, James Cook. That was nice. Jaden Blue. That honestly, right here, the Blue and Bigsby. I mean, I'm loving that.
Texture is A+ on the running back.
Ladd, Marv, Addison, Golden, Trey Harris, Jalen Noel, A.D. Mitchell. I mean,
could this team have used an adult or two at receiver?
Could we have taken Elijah Moore instead of Aranda Gadsden? Probably. David Njoku, Zack Ertz, Aranda Gadsden. Probably.
My favorite, I don't know if you'd call it a stat, but like I've been quoting it for the past week, is how the BBM 5 champion had 43.8 points in week 12, which is more of like a point to like not care about bye weeks. Like he didn't have an eligible quarterback. He only had 2 receivers that weren't on bye in week 12 last year. He scored 43 points. He still won $2 million, or maybe it was only $1.5 million last year. Is that a reason to not want adult receivers for week 1? Probably not, but I can kind of tell myself that story.
Honestly, I don't know what I'm even supposed to learn from that.
I think it's just like, I don't care about bye weeks. Like I want to draft like a team that is going to win my lobby by 50 points and win in week 17.
I think you know what it is? That is indicative to me of just how noisy and insane best ball is in general. Just like how little you can solve for. Yeah, just like it's just insanely variant, and you could kind of just do whatever. I did. This one is 30 seconds, so we'll have longer.
Oh, last one was 20.
Last one
I was like feeling the heat a little bit.
We just got that done, and it's so funny to get these done so fast. Like the 20-second clock. I mean, I say it every stream, but it is the largest.
It was great. That was huge. I'm so far ahead, which is kind of a problem. I'm like so far ahead of my normal pace, which is nice because then I can flip like across sites like towards the end.
Yeah,
if I want to, but
I've done about 9 on DraftKings because they just take. Well, I don't stream any
like 10. Yeah, it takes. Last year they used to be faster than Underdog, but now if you're doing the 20-second, it's like you're saving 15-20 minutes.
Yes, and the UI. I mean, just it's just harder to do on mobile. Is all it is. It's just yeah.
If you're like because I used to try and like I was like multi-tabling while walking the dog, and like you miss notifications and.
I mean, that's what it is ease of use for multi-tabling with the dog.
100%. Yeah.
This is
I think Benson was a bad pick. Just for the record.
Do as I say, not as I do. Mitchell Evans, not a fantasy relevant player, and neither is Gadsden. That was a bad pick. Are we gonna get lucky, or is this gonna be
high step into the end zone?
I never get lucky on this.
You want to go Lamb?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I do. I am so sick of these. Oh, Barkley, T. Higgins. No one's going to see that coming.
And like, depending on the room, like if you like the worst case is like, you don't even get T. Higgins. And it's like, oh, am I taking like Marvin Harrison at 22? Like, what are we doing?
We've got one slap behind us. I think we have 2 confirmed slaps behind us. So we'll see. You never know. Sometimes the slappies, I mean, this year, sometimes the slappies change their mind and they say,
I feel like the slaps like Bucky and Achan, which kind of helps the round 2 go by.
Yeah.
22 is tough. That's what I like least about picking early. I think the 2-3 turn is really bad. And like I think pick 30. Like I just flat out like Devontae Adams more than I like anyone that goes in like the 8 picks ahead of him.
Are you pulling him up? I'm totally comfortable pulling Devontae Adams up.
Yeah.
I think
sure.
I think it's totally fine. Don't know. It's just interesting to see a first round go this way. Barkley, Bijan,
just kind of weird sandwich.
McCaffrey. What's gonna happen is actually we're gonna get Jonathan Taylor because
I think that's like super nutted.
Yeah, I agree.
I think, and would you agree that Jonathan Taylor's odds of being the RB1 are infinitely higher than
literally
odds of
so
being
funny you say that. I was about to say infinitely
higher.
Not
even a question. It's like not even a question, right?
It's like actually not even close. Wow.
In a single week, like I'm talking about like on the season. Like Jonathan Taylor, it's like, I don't know, 5%, 10%. Let's call 5. Like T. Higgins, like 0.0%.
Wow. Baxter said eat shit. Bijan.
That's fine.
Bijan JT. So funny. This person gets a sick deal on Bowers, but they kind of ruined their team from having taken a running back. What do you want to do here?
This is great. Like you take Bucky here all day, right?
I actually don't love this price for Bucky. I think he's like the same thing as Brees, who's like 20 picks cheaper, but that is a minority opinion. Yeah, minority opinion on this corner of the internet. Everyone loves Bucky and forgets that he's 185 pound. It's not even fair. It's not even fair to call him a scat back because he's not even fast.
Yeah, he doesn't scat.
He doesn't. You
remember this time last year how Garrett Wilson? Would you go Tyreek?
I was gonna say, I think our conversation yesterday on Tyreek has me like reek pilled of being like, well, you're probably gonna lose, but if you don't lose, he's gonna smash.
You have last year's 102 and 103 on this team.
Sure do. Yeah.
In last year's 14th round running back.
In a 14th round from last year. Yes, great point. Bucky started getting super banged up after getting a full workload. Why is that? Couldn't be that he weighs 184 pounds.
Remember this time last year, Todd Bowles had never had a running back get more than 6 carries if they weighed under 195 pounds, except for, I forget, there was one outlier that had like 200 carries. And it
was like, he had like every other running back on the roster had died at that point. It was like Doc Rodgers or something insane like that. All I'm saying is my historical experience with coaches is far more the Rachaad White guy loses work to someone you think sucks than the Bucky Irving guy totally like Chase Brown, good example.
Yeah. Speaking of like the running back RB1 who I think sucks, but also like the RB2s and 4s suck. Pacheco question for you. So I think Pacheco's okay. And I think whoever the RB2 through 4 are on the Chiefs are like likely bad NFL running backs, like at this stage in their careers, both on the young end and the old end. Does that make Pacheco better of a pick? Because like he's been a riser. You know, you talked about it on ADP chasing. He's been a riser, kind of like, I don't like the RB2 to RB4, so the Chiefs RB1. Like just because the backs behind him are bad doesn't mean that Pacheco himself is going to be good, right? Like far from it. Like isn't that a historical like easy fade spot?
Well, it's just binary with Pacheco. If he is fully recovered from his leg injury and at the same speed, agility, and power that he was at before it, he'll be a pretty good pick. If he is still, I mean, a guy like him, I don't even think he can afford to lose a quarter of a step. Like if he,
he's kind of fringe as it is.
I mean, he was a 7th round pick who didn't really get meaningful playing time. Till his second year. I get he's fine. He was like the other thing about Pacheco is it's not like, oh, the Chiefs just, even like Kareem Hunt's first run, like it's not like he was like that. He was a good runner for them, not great, doesn't break a ton of tackles, just kind of runs in a straight line. Lot of downside there. Do you want to take Metcalf? I don't really.
But like I don't want to take Sutton either.
Yeah. All right, whatever. Eat it. I like taking George Pickens there, but Baxter is sadly sharp and knows to take the guy who plays in a dome. But yeah, to your Pacheco point, I don't know. Like one of those guys is probably a better pick. I just don't know which one it is.
Yeah, me neither. I think we'll just wait and buy him later.
Well, I think we assume Pacheco won't heal because Tony Pollard and Mark Andrews and one other guy had the shittiest years of their career a year after that injury. They were playing and they were actively bad. Same injury, same surgery. There was one other guy who had it. I think this is just Kittle, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Ridley?
No.
Hurts?
I like Kittle.
We've got Dak to it. Yeah, okay. We don't really have. I am not super woke to taking Aaron Rodgers, and I like Kittle and Purdy. Tank Dell.
Yeah, because like 70-75 gives us like Ricky P outs. Like we're looking good. Tank Dell. Yeah.
And he was ass. He was bad.
Yeah.
Before he like legitimately ended. So
speaking of Jalen Noel, someone in ADP chasing chat said that Jalen Noel will be the best wide receiver 3 CJ Stroud has ever had, completely wiping from his memory that 3 wide receivers went in the first 3 rounds last year, like literally last year, like Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs. But
yeah, I'm calling.
Numbers are short, man.
The ADP chasing chat is like a crazy place. I wonder if it's because of the time frame that it's on, because it's on at 9 a.m. I wonder if it draws in a different crowd, because that chat, man, they
morning drive.
They got a lot of opinions and very few of them are good. In the ADP chasing.
I love the show. I love the show format.
It is a good show. Yes. So the Pacheco injury was super early last year, but if you do the math, he still is not. For example, the time frame between Pacheco's injury and the start of this season is further along, or is shorter along than Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard returning from the same injury. Your dog looks so much like my dog's sister. It's crazy. That is like exactly what.
Golden.
Yeah. Is she a field golden or a show golden?
Show. Well, not like
that's it.
It's like one of the puppy, like one of the puppies in her litter is like supposed to do show stuff and whatever.
My dog is a field golden. She does her it means her face is way skinnier.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, they're the show goldens are like rounder face, wider chest.
Yeah, my dog's sister.
my
yeah, I know.
So
I know you.
My dog. Well, my dog lives with my sister-in-law. My dog's sister lives with my sister-in-law. Sister dogs.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is cool. But yes, TCD hits it right here. It's pretty simple. Breaking your leg, per the data, pretty bad. This guy, T-Ed, so he's our resident Gumby in the Slappy Central Discord. Okay, he is also a physical therapist, and he says 100% tightrope recovery appears to be around 1.5 full years to strength, which would track with Tony Pollard, would track with Mark Andrews. We never got there with Tank Dell. Maybe we will. Yeah, sad.
People forget. Although not super relevant. People forget he got shot too last year. Sorry, not to laugh. I don't know.
No, probably relevant. Probably relevant. He got shot. I would assume. Yeah, I would assume getting shot was relevant.
Rough.
Probably relevant. Mark Andrews got in a car crash as well.
I think that's super. I honestly like super relevant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the week before the season started too.
Yeah, that was weird. NFL. I remember when Cam Newton got in that car crash and there was like the photo of him like giving the thumbs.
I remember reading something like NFL Mark Andrews gets in 100 car crashes a year. It's like, dude, Like, you might not be wrong, but like that's such a stupid freaking take to type online. But granted, that's the perfect place for it.
Right. Yeah. No, definitely type that in the ship chasing Discord, and that'll be 6 hours of arguing. You'll get someone there. All right. We are up. I mean, oh damn, I was gonna say we just take the ADP faller with Travion. We've taken Golden.
Debo? Would you go with Debo here? You get Debo as a bring back for CD.
Yes.
Doesn't really open a whole lot up for you, but ADP faller, it's the team.
I actually don't think that's an ADP faller. I think that's a ranking. That's actually
he's my mental ADP. His ADP.
Oh yeah, my mental ADP, because I have him ranked 9 spots after this. So yeah.
Right.
It's true. Both of Tank's injuries were caused by his teammates. Yeah. Tough. Oh, we got the Burrow push in this room. Got around to 72.
Good for him. It doesn't occur to me to like snipe someone on that, because like if I don't have Chase or Higgins, like Burrow is just like not even in my consideration.
All right, so I'm kind of uncomfortable with Bucky as the lead guy, so I think we should take Swift, Pacheco.
Oh no, come on, dude. 0 RB. Ricky P. Let's do it. This is gonna be a 6 receiver team. This team is great. Like, because we have Kittle, so we don't need
easy turn into a slap.
It's not even 0 RB. This is hero RB.
Hero RB. The thing about letting the Burrow guy get T and Chase, and I've explained this before, is that you're making a trade-off of basically saying, okay, well, this team that I just drafted is not going to win Best Ball Mania, but it gives my other 149 teams a marginally better chance to win Best Ball Mania, because Joe Burrow in the 6th round without T or Chase is just waving the white flag. You're just not winning.
Yeah. Yeah, you would never like, and I think like the DFS, like the DraftKings salary DFS comparisons are sometimes like a little lame, but like we're human and we like to compare things, especially when we have like more history or familiarity with another form. If Joe Burrow was like 6,200 and you're playing the Millie Maker and you don't have Chase or T Higgins, like you're never taking him, like ever. It doesn't matter that he's cheap. Like if he's 4K, sure, but like 7th round is not that cheap. It's cheap relative to like his fake ADP. But I think Burrow belongs at pick 70.
Yeah. That is where he should go. And
this team is going to be so nice.
And we'll probably get there, right? In the end, like his ADP is just going to keep falling. Where is he at?
Unless the casuals come in like super horny for quarterbacks.
So he's already down to 60.8, which is at this turn. So he just is going to keep. You know what'll be interesting is when we get some positive forces for some guys around here, like, oh, we really need to start taking Chris Olave or whatever. Like when there are more skill position players that people don't want to pass up on.
It's going to be Golden. Matt Golden's ADP is going to be 60 by the close of BBM.
Yes, that is true. I just got a DM from Liam. We're locking in.
Huge.
He's back. He's back from chess school. Yes, ADP 60 means he only gets sniped by auto drafters.
Correct. There's 2 people in a lobby that have interest in Joe Burrow.
Yes. It's funny. It's just so hard for guys to actually fall because of auto drafters. Every guy who falls asleep after forgetting that he entered a draft makes it harder for your.
But I think there's like slightly more QB uncertainty than usual for this time of year, and I think once some of that dust settles, people will be less antsy to like lock up the security of dang Burden going. Kind of stinks, but doesn't matter a whole lot.
Kind of early for Burden. He's been
I agree. I wouldn't have taken him here.
Mason.
I'll go Mason or Warren.
I mean, if we're gonna honor, I was gonna say, if we're gonna honor our slappy roots, we gotta take Warren. You can't do a slap ass team. You can't do a slap ass team without Jalen Warren. It's true. The Twitter losers, people love to complain about getting sniped on Joe Burrow. And then on the converse, the other group of people love to be like, I protected the integrity of the contest.
Yeah, that's Joe Burrow. Like,
it's so funny. A true
that person that does that like probably needs a $25 too, and like they have to tweet it out because they did a good deed at the expense of like their next meal.
This is crazy. Never made a Twitter account. Honestly, your brain. You want to just take Purdy here?
Yeah.
Your brain has to be so much healthier than mine, Peppertoni. Having never had a Twitter account, let me tell you, a true disastrous decision.
It's tough
to be made.
I've probably not shared this story because why would I have? I was interviewing for a job years ago at like a pretty, like it would have been a step up, would have been like, important, good pay, like serious big boy job, like in New York City before I was working in New York City. And like one of the questions, and like I prepared, like, I don't know, I'm pretty buttoned up. I prepared. One thing I did not prepare for, the guy was like, just like casually was like what news do you read? Like, how do you keep up with like the news?
Oh no, you didn't say.
Like, I froze. I don't even remember what I said. I didn't say the word Twitter, but I was like, oh, I like to vary it. I like to, read different sources. Like I gave like the most non-answer, and it was like, wow, I was disqualified like on the spot because like I didn't say like, oh, the Wall Street Journal or like, the New York Post or whatever. It's like,
the Economist.
Everything else.
If someone asks you where you get your news, no, dude.
But if someone asks me like who's my favorite author at the newspaper I'm now lying about having read, like I feel like it was almost better to just say like I don't keep up with it. But didn't get the job.
Tough. Yeah. He would have laughed if you said, I believe it's the Everything app.
Yeah.
He would have gotten a chuckle.
Actually, just ask Grok every single day what happened the day before.
Oh God. Man, let me tell you, man, the at Grok, is this true? People who are doing it unironically.
Yeah, that's insane.
No.
Those people have driver's licenses. Those people vote. Those people hold me up at the drive-through line.
Yep. That's the person who's in front of you at the grocery store, taking forever. Yeah. I also get my news
taking Blake Corum.
$900 a Corum. Buddy, I bet I had.
That's not even bad at all.
I probably had $3,000 of Blake Corum last year. I mean, I can go look, but I bet I did. I bet it probably cool.
I would do that again in a heartbeat. I'm
Corum,
gonna do it again this year with
I was gonna say, I'll fucking do it again.
Yeah.
I'm drafting Miles Sanders this year. You think I'm sad? I mean, you can't.
Miles Sanders has his seat at this table reserved.
Again, if we're doing
Tracy, I don't love Tracy, but like I think this is a really good team for him.
Well, it's the value hound. It's the woo. I have is this mid IQ? I have both Tracy and Scattaboo after ADP.
That's brave because I think I have them both like ahead of ADP, which I think might be correct, but is like lame as hell. Like I actually think I respect your stance on it more than mine.
No motor fears.
No.
All right, I knew my boy Spider. My dude Spider 6898. He knew the Everything app joke. He was never letting Tootin get back to us. Never ever.
Yeah, it's tough.
And he didn't.
He's drafting a nice one over there.
He is drafting a nice one. Okay. Do we want to take any quarterback? We could take Ramondre.
No, because we have Tua later. Oh, is Dak gone? It seems like Dak is probably gone.
Dak is gone. We could take Loveland. I don't love Loveland, honestly.
No,
we could do Lovecraft.
We can do Ramondre. Yeah, we could do Kraft.
What do we think? Ramondre is just a good. He is a. You know what? Ramondre is down here. Oh. I was gonna say he's an eat your vegetables pick now.
Yeah.
Zeus, sir, I promise you, go look at my BBM stuff. I bet I had more than 24% quorum in BBM.
I think
I bet I did.
What's your audience? I don't want to like,
Hey man, it's the
truth.
It's
too mean, but like if you don't understand like binary outcomes for contingent running backs and like sometimes it just doesn't work, then like I think you're playing the wrong game. But hit the like anyway for Davis.
Hey, it's just like this man has a bone to pick. Zeke was a brain dead. But yes, binary. It's totally binary. Zeke was a bad pick.
That's fine.
Brother, I had $4,000. I had $4,000 of Dontavian Wicks at like the Pico top, like setting. I took Dontavian Wicks in the 9th round, maybe even the 8th round of an FFPC main event. That's a 25.
That's a format that really discourages like taking a chance on
That's a $2,500 fantasy football draft that I just said, you know what? Let's just rip it. Let's set the min pick. Let's set the min pick on Dontavian Wicks. Now this I'll push back. I'll defend people when they need to be defended. This is just clearly wrong. Ronnie Rivers was never going to start a game.
That's crazy.
Los Angeles Rams.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's also a forward-looking show, is it not?
Hey, all I want is for people to be intellectually honest. If anyone can lie around here, it's me. But I need everyone else to try and remain is intellectually honest. Yeah, Wicks versus a used Corolla. Which would you rather have? Frankly, I'd take the used Corolla.
Take Wicks.
Probably.
Oh, I'll take Wicks.
Okay. This is where we're at. Purdy, Bucky Irving, Jalen Warren, Tyron Tracy, Ramondre Stevenson, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel, Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle. So we got the double stack. Probably one of these picks used on Tua. I tell you what. I probably am gonna do it again with Hunter.
Oh,
and
no
Corum.
doubt.
Yeah,
and you're getting him at like 180. I'm fine with Corum at 200 as well. I think like anyone that was pricing in like a split roll with Kyron last year was wrong, and I think they'll be wrong again this year. It's just a pure contingent bet, but it's like round 16.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just not fuck around and just take Tua here because we'll be tilted.
What's 10N? What's 10N? Oh, we have Pitts. Or not Pitts, Kittle. Yeah. I'm fine with Tua. Like nothing. There's no huge needs here.
No, I don't want to look behind us to see if there's like a John. The John who drafter
Waddle is
the John who drafter was right behind us with one quarterback, so he probably would have taken him.
He might have Waddle too.
Corolla cannot drop a ball. Yeah, Corolla can't get open versus man coverage either.
Corolla can break down while you're driving the highway, though. You don't want that.
I don't know, man. Toyotas are pretty reliable.
I know that. Yeah.
That's
something you're gonna hate.
Wicks may have cost me thousands of dollars, but in the end, people said, "Damn, that dude knows ball." Every time I took him. I will say setting the min pick on him on the entirety of the FFPC was at least fun. What was a good time. So
you can't control if you win or lose, but so control the controllables, right?
Correct. Do you want to do Algiers good for this team?
Like, where's Dobbins?
Is
he like long gone?
Long gone.
Do ADP it? Okay. Tight end, like would you go like with the Ferg thing?
Yeah, no, Ferg's good, I think. Because we have our two stacks, we have Rodgers, so we're good. Yeah, I think Ferg is. We got some more correlation in that game as well. Yeah, never that excited to. Yeah, the people are over Besh, and I guess we're all trying to find the guy who did this, but I don't know. I don't think the core tenet of the Besh philosophy has changed yet.
Yeah.
But
What's the reporting like out of New England camp? And like, I'm trying to remember what kind of clarity we had last year at receiver with them. And what I'm getting at is like, there's a lot of noise or a lot of clarity, quote unquote, in June about how Betch is, not running in the top 3.
Mm-hmm.
But like, does anyone know if Kyle Williams is like running with the first team in New England? Like, because like it's like, to me, a very similar bet. As far as draft capital, as far as like a team that's probably not that great, but like people are kind of selling themselves on being good for fantasy.
I want to say the stuff has been good on Kyle Williams early, but I couldn't point to the one that's getting the drumbeat is just like a total New England It's Efton Chisholm, the third, which is like enough. Like we don't,
It's like
the one surprising
just because you have
thing
good reporting. Just because you have good reporting on Jack Betch not being there doesn't mean that the Patriots aren't rolling out Steph Diggs, Demario Douglas, and Mac Hollins week 1.
So that is the thing that's been interesting, is that Williams has been projected as the starter over Hollins, but Hollins hasn't been practicing. I thought the extra surprising thing was the coaching staff being pretty clear that Douglas is viewed as a starter. So Kyle Williams is gonna have to play out. Kyle Williams is gonna have to play outside.
Was he slottish?
He did both. Kyle Williams did both. I can pull up his
Kendrick Bourne looms.
Yes. Let's well, God.
We're entitled to 1.5 Kendrick Bourne chalk weeks, like each year.
Right. Kyle Williams, college receiving slot rates. Right. Yeah. About final season 25% slot rate, 74% wide. So he's probably big. Fine. Not big, but yeah, whatever. I mean, Demario Douglas being fine as I mean, he's good at getting open. I know you don't want him as much in half point PPR. Yeah, this is basically what people say is Douglas is just the slot.
Yeah, and they probably run a bunch of 12 team too.
They will run a good bit of 12.
Henry and Austin Hooper.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many slots and targets that is for Kyle Williams.
All right, I think we just take Jalen Wright here, add on to the stack. We really only need our wide receivers are CD, Metcalf, Debo.
Like we're good.
We got nothing but luxury picks on the way out here. This is Harper is a boner killer.
Austin, there was times he was like chalk last year. Like Hunter Henry was healthy, and Austin Hooper at like 2,900 was just chalk because he was gonna get you like 4 for 37. That was fine.
Speak of the devil, you want to take Demario Douglas?
Get out of here! Get out of here!
God, yeah. What do we do?
Anything there? We go like no, we have no need for Cam Ward.
Get in.
Go Shipley chasing. Early. Yeah, rank 170.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I like.
You get leverage, dude. You're getting direct leverage on Saquon bet.
Direct leverage on moderator in my Discord. Eat it, brother. We're coming after you.
Please not making it back in this room.
We definitely need at least one more wide receiver, but it doesn't really matter which one it is. You know what? We could have taken Cam Ward there and then set up.
I was thinking about it. Yeah.
Chimere, DK, Guy Manor, Tyler Lockett.
This team is begging for conservative values. Aaron Rodgers. Actually, I don't even know if I would say conservative values. I was trying to ayahuasca, whatever he does.
Yeah, ayahuasca, not conservative values. He's like Rodgers is more of the New World Order style. Of conservative. Are we going to
read the news?
You don't read the news. Yeah. All you read is what you see on X.
It's all at everything though.
Yes. Man, Chubb might have been good there. I'm pretty Chubb pilled, which is the first time in the history of fantasy football that I've been in on Chubb.
I think
but
I was
Mixon's in a walking boot, man.
Yeah, I will say Evan Silva being like completely out on Chubb and saying like he's still like gonna be fighting for a roster spot makes me really not want to take him, but I give the price is for sure fine.
Silva out on Chubb is not great because that is the bellwether.
Because that's what you're hoping for. Because like Damian, I think his case was like if Mixon's healthy, Damian Pierce plays special teams, and then Woody Marks, obviously they drafted and he's receiving. So like Woody Marks kind of has to exist. In Chubb, I think I don't draft Woody Marks anymore, and I used to, but Chubb's existence doesn't really take much away from Woody Marks. I mean, it kind of relegates him to pass only, which he might have been anyway. But like Chubb is kind of playing against Damian Pierce for a role, and Damian Pierce plays special teams, right? And like it doesn't take much to take Damian Pierce out of a job, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Damian Pierce, famously the dynasty running back one.
That's what led me to quitting 100% of my dynasty leagues.
Now, again, another Tim makes a great point. The Browns, who are just so desperate for good PR,
are they though? You can't.
Well, maybe they're not. I don't know,
dude. I don't think you can. Assumption rational management does not exist in Cleveland.
What a crazy! Imagine being a Browns fan, just like truly unbelievable. Yeah.
You know, the thing with Chubb is like you picture him as like, you know, big bruising running back, like bunch of carries. Like in his heyday, Nick Chubb was snapping off like 16 for 120. Like he was not.
He was
like,
in.
You'd be surprised at how few carries he got. It's like, what are we looking at? Like if Chubb, the contingent Chubb gets there, like, do I want 12 carries out from Nick Chubb? Like, do I need it?
You might. You want to just take Rodgers here?
Sure.
We can set it up with a last round Roman Wilson.
Yeah.
Man. Third quarterback before 6 wide receiver. 2020
Dude, we're so good.
For me,
a receiver.
2024 me is just absolutely just aghast. Can't believe
we're in bucket one of receiver draft capital while having an elite tight end, while having a hero running back. Like this team is like exactly in the sweet spot of draft capital allocations.
Diami,
I don't hate Diami. He's not like doesn't do anything particularly, but for this team. But
no, dude, Roman Wilson, the Aaron Rodgers double stack.
I was gonna say like we could finish it with like 2 receivers.
Well, we can either take another wide receiver next, or we can take another tight end. Our tight ends are Kittle and Ferguson. Probably
good enough for me.
Yeah, I think Yoshi. People love Yoshi. I
think it's just people just are like want to show off that they know how to pronounce it.
Man, is that? Ooh, Savion is pretty fun. That's a slappy special. You
need Jordan Love to even like I'm not even gonna let you sell the pen. I won't let you in like the lobby of the skyscraper to sell me the Savion pen unless I have Jordan Love. And even then, I might just like meet you outside and like, you know, take the Uber Eats from you, and I'm
Savion Williams is Jaden Reed that's so big that you don't have to be scared every time he gets tackled.
I think like we know better, like to draft a wide receiver 4 through 6 rookie on a team like we're not super thrilled about their pass volume as it is.
I just am like, one, I am an avowed slappy, so anyone who's like a converted positional player, love it. Just like seeing a wide receiver get a rush is so just exhilarating. And
I know who we're taking.
Okay. They're just a whole team of wide receiver 3s, 4s, and 5s. So like why can't I get 2 spike weeks out of Savion Williams? Yeah, I mean that's the thing is they clearly hate their wide receivers, right? You take a first round and a third round wide receiver. You're hating these dudes.
But Jordan Love likes Romeo Doubs. So like that only leaves you so much to play with. And I think Jaden Reed is their slot receiver. So then you have Golden. Like it's kind of now you're fighting with Wicks for the receiver 4.
Do you remember when Romeo Doubs got suspended for a game because he said, "Throw me the damn ball"? It's like one of the weirdest.
You remember like Romeo? Yeah, him having the clout to do that, and then coming back from it was like a legit earth-shattering like moment in last year's NFL.
Yeah, only getting suspended for one
like
game.
The 70th best receiver in the NFL, like pulling that on like a very competitive team,
crazy,
and kind of getting away with it was pretty insane.
And then like not getting like it's not like he's eligible for like a contract extension or like can be
nothing, dude.
They wouldn't trade him. It's very bizarre. I wonder if that was like not true. Like, frankly, I wonder if there's something else going on behind the scenes that they use that.
It must have been. I remember like some speculation there.
Yeah. Like, so
he's only 25. He turned 25 in April.
Yeah. Just does not ring true. Like, why would a 4th round rookie pick from Nevada, who's like just maybe has never had a 100-yard game in the NFL? I want to say, man, let's fact check me on air and see if that's true. Career for Romeo Doubs. Do we think he's had a 100-yard game, boys? The answer is he's had one, and it was
playoffs.
It was that game against Dallas. Yeah,
Malik Washington.
Say
slap
less.
It up.
Say less. I actually think Malik Washington's a pretty good pick. Imagine he was drafted. Imagine we got sniped on.
I would have gotten Nick Westbrook-Ikhine.
Yeah. Yes. So his only ever 100-yard game came in a game where they were, they were up like immediately. Like the game was, the game was over.
Yeah.
No.
The game was super over.
No. Jones touchdown, Wicks 20-yard pass, pick 6. And then Romeo Doubs didn't score his touchdown in that game until the 4th quarter, and he made it 48-16 with that touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Was this team any good? Let's figure it out. Oh, you got to refresh. I think that team was okay. Anytime you can invoke the name of Malik Washington, you got to feel pretty good.
I think that's good.
It's just not. It's not loading for me. Am I tripping? Underdog is not working. So maybe we won't be able to review it. Sad.
It was a possible shipper.
It was. You know what? I'm super tilted. Had a nice little cooker last night, and our boy Roto Runs, TJ McConnell sold me. No, TJ McConnell. I had the lower on Halliburton. He scored 0 made field goals.
4 points, right?
For Halliburton. Yeah. Tough son. All right. Well, that team. I'm not. It's just not showing.
Was it not a Best Ball Mania?
No, it was. Here we go.
That would have been hilarious. We were just drafting a super flex.
We were just drafting a schnauzer. All right. Brock Purdy, Tua, Aaron Rodgers, Bucky Irving, Jalen Warren. Wow, the Steelers mega stack. Bucky, Jalen, Tracy, Ramondre, Jalen Wright, Will Shipley, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel, Ricky Pearsall, Roman Wilson, Malik Washington, George Kittle, Jake Ferguson. We should have taken like Jerome Ford or something for a bring back.
For what? Oh, for we have 0
Steelers. Yeah.
Listen, you can't think of everything.
No, you can't. We actually are at our peak live concurrence right now, but it is 4:00. Easy. I went to a concert last night as an old man.
Ooh.
I was
Monday
out.
concert.
A Monday concert. I was out until 11:30. I was at the gym at my normal time at 5 this morning. I am so cooked.
Yeah.
And this is also my 5th show today. How do I have anything left to say about football? I mean, literally, how do I even have anything left to say about football? And I could talk for another hour and a half right now if I didn't have like life that I had to go live. It's just truly amazing. It's truly amazing. I saw Jack's Mannequin, it's just this mid 2000s like white girl music, like Tumblr music. My wife loves it. It was great. It was great. Honestly,
live music is great.
Live music is the best, but my brain is so not used to being out late. Like it's just like my brain like did not conceive of being awake at 11:30. It was crazy. All right, Baxter. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Did he bail himself out from the Boomer start?
Oh no, you can't. You can't.
Pickens, Flowers, Judy, Reed, Burden. He got Caleb. He took Caleb. He took Caleb with Burden. He took Love with Reed. Not loving this. Not loving Kincaid as your tight end 1. So here's the deal. You can't. You probably shouldn't have taken Daniel Jones. You probably should have taken like Slayton, and you probably like Roshan is a waste pick too. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't like the problem with RB is you end up reaching around on Burden and Kyle Williams, and like your receiver room is just like not super competitive. Yes. I don't think.
This is so true. All the mid 2000s bands that were popular, they love that we can go out to a show like this Blink 182 tour.
We saw like the not even Blink 182. Was it? There's another that was doing like the house shows.
Oh, like All American Rejects. I mean, this incredible idea from them. But the Blink 182, I think the Blink 182 reunion tour was supposed to be like a short thing, and they're like, dude, we're selling out everywhere. Let's just keep. They're still touring because they're just they're just like printing money. Yeah. So shout out to them, and I'll keep going, right? Particularly when it's not on a Monday. I mean, I who doesn't want to feel like they're in college again? That's what we're all after. All right, everyone. EasyDFS.xyz. Like the video, subscribe to the channel for daily fantasy football videos. Patreon.com/save